What's up everyone, it's Jambor's new masterclass, and in this lesson of stagings I will talk about France, the stage, and for the members of this channel, after all the lesson will be done, so I will basically decipher the staging, tell you what worked, what didn't work, why, lots of whys answered, and about the approach. I will also talk more about how might it be, about French stagings, and also about Louane's song, but this will be for the members. For all of you, I will do, of course, this lesson. So if you want to support this channel and also learn something more and have more content from Eurovision and now specialized on France, just become my members. And of course, all the masterclasses will have this appendix, will have something more, a little bit more for the members, so they have some more value to it. But I want you to learn something about stagings. I want you to learn about some different approaches and also what is working, why it's working, or the opposite. French staging in general, for me, was a disappointment, let's see, from the approach. And of course I will describe you why technically, but I must say that with the song with such a great atmosphere and potential, they've chosen something which was somehow, too much contradiction to what is the song feeling. And now I'm having this intro especially because of the fact that for the stagings itself, which consists of cameras, editing, the camera movements, camera editing, lights, the usage of the stage itself, like the LED graphics, for example, choreography, acting, singing, of course, the artist's presence most oftenly, even though, for example, in Austrian example, we saw it was more about the acting and the overall storytelling. In French case, I think it was somewhere halfway, and sometimes the directors are making it more about their idea than actually the song itself and bringing this atmosphere alive. And in my opinion, France this time failed in this, and I think it cost Louane much better placing, because this staging was distracting from the song message, from the song feeling in general, because not so many people can really speak French to really understand what Louane is singing about, to really get to this atmosphere, which kind of is clear just at the end of the song. And the rest of it, it's just falling sand from the ceiling, which also they somehow needed to tell you what it really means in the beginning, which it's already tells you that if they wanted you to make it feel understandable, they need to tell you what is it about, kind of falling sand, that it's already a fail. Because if you need to really tell the audience, hey, this is our idea, then it's already a failure. Anyway, let's watch it together, the whole thing. Of course, I don't know if I will not need to cut through it because of the copyright, but then definitely in the second phase of the description of the staging, I will demontage this staging in the fragments and tell you exactly what to focus at, what was working good and bad. So let's do it. Let's watch it together. First, the full thing. This. And somehow I think the staging killed the song. Anyway, it wasn't consistent, So let's now go from the beginning and let me tell you. So what was the first thing? So first of all, we start with this moment when she's showing the hourglass. I already talked in the intro about it. It immediately tells you this is our idea. So you already tell the whole story in here, basically telling the audience is stupid. Yes, this is like I can imagine, because I'm working in television. There are always those discussions. Will people understand what we want to tell by the staging? But if you do this, you you basically showing like it tells me as a professional that they saw the sand is falling and everything, and it's like, but will people understand it? Let they tell them in the beginning what the sand means, what the falling means. And it's like this is not how smartly you're playing. It should be a surprise, in my opinion. They should reveal it differently. For example, to create really a stage, like some fragments of glass or some plastic foil or something stretch, that she's kind of really in the hourglass. That would be much, much more also pompous, also using the shooting through the glass, which could be shaped like this. It doesn't need to be everywhere, but in some fragments, when you feel that it will also give you a little bit different edge, like shooting through the glass creates also some kind of a different reflection. It creates some kind of depth, that she's kind of like imprisoned kind of in the past. It would work much, much better, but they've chosen this way. So, and immediately, it loses a little bit authenticity, because this is a pure acting, which is too concrete. It is too concrete. And as you can see already in the glass, that this is how the hourglass really looks, right? Or this type. In the middle is, it needs to fall, of course, because every single cent drop needs to go. So now we can feel that it's like she's in the hourglass, but she's the central part of it. And now the hourglass, if it's a proper one, the sand goes through the middle. But she's playing with this time, but because already it doesn't fit, it already is kind of like, something is wrong. And now I'm not saying that you will say this is something is wrong as yourself. The thing is that your brain is used to some historically facts, that hourglass has the sand falling from the middle, and now it doesn't connect that perfectly. And even though you're saying like this is a nice idea, your brain already feels a little bit like So technically this is a not good idea to put it this way, because it should go in the middle. She could go spinning around it. This is what they should do, that if you put an hourglass, you need to make it hourglass, and then they should use the effect that she's going around the sand, around the time is passing, not that she is in the middle. That makes no sense. It's by sense wrong. She's playing with the sand, okay. What I like in here, how they play with the sounds, but it's not consistent. For example, they play with the sounds like always on this higher tone or the strongest tone, like the doom, 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 the lights reacting, but they are not consistent in it. So your brain is receiving so many different impulses. So it's all about acting or the support of the song or what. It's inconsistent. This is the problem. See? Like... So now it's a drama. So if I'm not an English-speaking person, I would say like I'm a French-speaking person, I would say she's singing about how she's going through time or something like this. Maybe she does. But because she's set up in the middle of the stage and she's the central point of it, also by the camera, you can see that the camera always position her in the middle in those moments. That again, it makes no sense towards the hourglass. If the sand, the time, the story is the central part of it, would be much better that she's kind of going in circles, passing by. Something what Austria did very smartly in their staging. By the way, all those details matters, because the staging is a brain play, right? Your brain is to captivate it, to basically not ask the question. Something doesn't work, something doesn't fit, because otherwise the song is brilliant. The thing is that you need to receive impulses into your brain which can somehow coexist perfectly with the song, and then you would get into it. It would work such better. But because she's already the central part of it, it doesn't feel she's in the hourglass. Also, again, hourglass, it's a circle shape. The camera, if they use this, it should go kind of around this hourglass. If they put a glass element over it, you would feel it. You would understand that she's locked there in the past. It would be a brilliant story. In this, it's not done perfectly. It's not done correctly. The camera angles and the sand thing would work if it's shot differently. Light perfect. And also I like how they emphasize this with the a little bit better shot. Very mild, nice, mild. The thing is that now they repeat something what you already seen. Nothing is really going on in here. And they play the same story again without dramatizing, changing it. Because they start so early with the falling sand that they have no clue how to adjust something in this. That's why I think they then chosen the other effect. Now it's fine, you know, because she's going around the sand. This is what it should be in the beginning, that the camera basically now making the sand centralize. So you would understand, then she follows her. And now she tells the story, but you know, most people don't understand. So she looks into the mirror, which is in the sand, in the hourglass, where normally is not a mirror, right? So it feels cheap. It feels like theatrical. Also, look how it's shot. It also shows that the sand is not the sand really. And so, like, I know that maybe you say this is just a detail, but your brain works a little bit differently. And when your brain already is a little bit like what is really like, try to decipher what is going on, even though on the level that you're not doing it willingly, your brain is starting to decipher it. This is a distraction point number like 10 already, which tells you, okay, so she's looking at her reflection again. It has something to do with or what is it? And because it's shot this way, not filmic way, also I think they chose the wrong color palette for it, because of course the hourglass and everything, it feels more, let's say, I don't know, it's universal, but in this case it feels more Arabic, let's say, the color palette they chose, but they dressed her very French. This is not a French shot. It should be also slower, but now it feels more like reality TV. And drama. So they put drama now into it. So it's like from the mild moment to drama, but she overacted. It you know, the song, and because this is a part of the staging, this is very important for you to understand. I know that she emphasized the sound, the drama sound, but she's telling the very intimate story, acting a lot over that. So many distractions, so many this, and so many drama. But it should be more emotional. And look at her, she feels extremely confident. She feels extremely like, which is nice, but it doesn't fit to the song. The song is about story telling, like what the mom did to her, and it's like more like, I'm giving this kind of emotion, calm, and you know, the lights can do the drama, everything, but she's there, like, you know, the life is dramatic, but she's talking about her memory, something what she wants to put ahead or something, but it doesn't fit with this choreography, because this is what she's basically doing, acting. It's a choreography. And figure out one thing, and this is also a wrong decision for this. So they emphasize the light reacting in some tonality, like now it's a completely different thing, and the light is not there to do the same thing. She's in orange also, all of it, black dress. See, it's not emphasized the light anyhow, so the rhythm of the song is kind of different than it was in before, which is like something doesn't fit, you know. And also behind her is just the black thing. What would they do nicely if they somehow emphasize some kind of a space, because it's hard to tell where she is, and because they didn't do this hourglass feeling of it, like the real one with some glass around or some, at least some shots to make you think about the space in a little bit more chic way. You are a little bit lost, and I think they could have played with the space around her. So it feels extremely empty regarding the scent, Now they worked with the light again, which they forgot to do it before, or they didn't show it in the camera, which is a mistake, They sometimes forget that okay, the light is do all the time the same. In the camera shots, it's not visible. It's like it's not there, and it's not there. So then the Arena is 360. They should use it a little bit. It doesn't mean to be like big lights, even bigger the sound, bigger the light. It kind of works together in your brain again, like they do in here, for example. Like they do in here, the rhythm, and then for this, like in this case, it would be brilliant if the sound completely stops, and the atmosphere change, or it would be like, what is this? Like hourglass don't do this, right? It's like wind get into it or something, and again you say like, but it's a nice effect. But the thing is that first of all, you're confused because now how fast it goes, it feels like sparks more likely than sand. Because sand normally doesn't do this, not in the hourglass, because sand in the hourglass goes smoothly, weirdly, it's annoying a little bit, or it's somehow very poetic also. This comes to the drama, which goes from her back, but the song didn't change, right, that much. It's not progressing the way that it now deserves this atmosphere change, for the fact that it also really looks like it goes from her back, which emphasize completely different thing. And again, you had that instead of following the song, where the drama is those strings doing that, and this now the sound is over, the time passed, and the light now is taking the atmosphere. It's completely random sand going up. It makes no sense. Like, follow it. Like, imagine now, instead of those sparks of the sand or something, or LED, or this is real, do like like when the clocks are like, emphasize the clock element in it. Time is going, Now nothing is going on. It's about her, and but the problem is that your brain is focused like on what is going on behind her, which doesn't correlate with the current tempo of the song. It's not lit up. And now they just empathize it that even though it wasn't on the perfect timing, they put the steam. Like, and look at the shot, like from where the steam goes. This is, who was thinking that this is a good idea? I really don't understand, and it adds nothing to the song. This is the issue. Like the staging is, or the stage, or those effects, they are doing completely different thing than the song is doing. She's going with the song with drama, but it's already so many different elements there put that it makes no sense. Light is not existing in here, so it's just basically sparks from her back are going. And there is no tempo, but because you were playing with those elements of tempo with the light a little bit at least, and you completely stop doing it, the tempo is lost. And this sand going up goes completely against it. The sand is also falling. They just add this, but the song is dramatizing, but nothing is going on in the stage. And now, just now, the light is doing something. Now, and this is a nice thing, and they should do it, but they should play a little bit different game. They should do it. This is a nice effect. This looks good, but already you're lost. But it has another complication in here, that it falls completely on her. But at least now it goes centrally, so even though hourglass again doesn't work this way, it kind of make a little bit of sense of the shape of hourglass. And again, They play just with this effect, but they forget of depth. So it's just black and the sand, like the thing, which the sand is creating this hourglassy look a little bit, that she's finally somehow shaped in there in the space. When you play with this, all those beats, all those those leading tones of the song should be visible somehow, because it would create you the space. Like, is she falling from somewhere, or is the hourglass placed somewhere, or it's just a dark times, it's just a dream space, something, some maybe clouds, because they were playing a little bit with this. But in this case, this should be there to help it to place it somewhere. But nothing, light is not working in here. It's just one boring light on her spotlight. Like this, now they're a little bit work with the light. And now look how this atmosphere changed, because they completely changed the color palette now into gold. And see how this works better also with the dress, with her, also with the drama. And also it gives you one additional thing, regardless, this orange, where it's somehow where it is. When it put it here in this light gradient over here behind her with the chord lights behind, it somehow gives you the feeling of the space. And again, mama, mama, they should support it a little bit with the camera movement, or with the light, mama, light, a little bit. They put a steam over there, so it would just, it would just create this urgency. Again, it's not there. Now it's an intimate moment, and then they go against to this orange palette and dark. And they react with the light on just few tones, and then they forget to do it. And your brain, so many things. And now waiting for this, and this is another mistake they did, because they now opened that she already was in the set with so many different things. So it firstly positioned her somewhere. It's like, what? This is a nice moment, but the whole song doesn't lead to it properly visually. And this is the whole issue of this staging, that it's completely inconsistent in what it does. They probably made it to be about her, but because she needs to do some actions, it's not authentic. The authenticity is completely lost, because first of all, your brain concentrates on so many weird impulses, and then those impulses are missing. Then her acting the whole time, it's very dramatical, very powerful, very proper, but not corresponding to the message of the song. And then at some moment, she's changing her mood completely to some very huge internal emotion. But the whole song was about it. But it's just visible at the last moment, because the rest was about the falling sand and singing performance and acting, which is not corresponding to this moment at all.
Thank you, Europe.
And it doesn't make sense, because imagine they shoot it all in this atmosphere, a little bit like Barbara Pravi was. They would make it intimate, of course, make the performance, and at some point maybe it's also an hourglass or the whole time, but they made it this way, look about this shot, but this is already over of the song. How it would look much better if they play with this and the very intimacy, but they try to make it big, but without a proper big elements. And that doesn't mean a big prop, but big, like the big approach. If you want to make it as an hourglass, make it more about the hourglass, more real. Otherwise, it's confusing, and they knew it. It's confusing, and people will not understand it. That's why they put this hourglass in the beginning of the song to tell you, it's hourglass, yes. But how cool it would be that she would now take the hourglass, for example. Why in the beginning? Even though I think it wouldn't be necessary, because it would be clear they could have used more shots, position her in the space. But it was all about this sand effect and everything. And it shouldn't be about it, right? And it took so much attention from actually her performance, and because it wasn't shot well in the way, not I mean the image, but it wasn't shot well dramaturgically. It was confusing. And now imagine that it's all in this more intimate emotion and gradation, but it wasn't doing the proper things at the beginning. So I hope this masterclass helped you to understand better what it's important in the staging and how important is to really understand the sense of the song, but also the melody of the song, and also the atmosphere of what is it about, without needed to telling me directly what is gonna happen, but keep me there. There were this staging basically worked contravise. It was contradicting where you should look, what you should do, and it was contradicting the actually intimacy of the song. Even though the song is pompous, it's big, it doesn't serve the staging purpose. So the embodiment of the song in here just simply did not work. So I really hope you now understand maybe also why was the result how it was, because the potential was there much higher, and in my opinion the staging itself cost Louane much better placing. And staging, I mean also her acting and everything, which also wasn't corresponding to what would you expect, especially with the very intimate end. Those words doesn't belong, because you have only 3 minutes of build up to that moment, but then it's not trustable. So how important it is, even a simple thing, to do very properly, and how France, after years, I would say, or like last year, it was really good. Actually, it was exactly how it should be done for the song Amazing Idea. I think this idea in general wasn't bad. It was executed badly. It just simply didn't work. It was more about the idea than about the song. It was more about the idea and staging than about the performance. And this is always a wrong, it's always a wrong decision. So maybe they will learn, maybe not, but I hope that you learned something in this today's masterclass, that you learned something more about stagings. And let me talk more now to my members. So if you want to listen more, just become members. Also, you can support this channel, and see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.